live streaming. Let's see. All right. All right, we are live. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep. Ready when you are. Yep, we all set.
All right.
Yep.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the return of the Crime Syndicate. I am your host, Ness, alongside Star Fox. And of course,
Good
we are the
afternoon.
Anti-Hooligans.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm expecting the creepy guy to walk out any minute.
I know, right? Finish him. As he creeps by. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, you guys can... There you have it.
Thanks, Mr.
Oh, no, it's
Creepy
Jason.
Guy.
Showtime.
Ah! Yes.
Give us a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, ring that bell to stay notified, and of course follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Yep.
And with that being said, I pass it over to Star Fox.
Thank you.
Get us started.
Well, today's topic is the death penalty. Ooh. Yes. Should it be allowed? Not allowed? What are our thoughts? And leave us your comments as well. We'd like to hear from you. I promise we don't bite. So, should the death penalty be allowed? Well, where I live, the death penalty is allowed. But the question that I have is, and I think it should be allowed in some cases, such as murderers. I think if they if they stay around for life, I think it's an easy way out. That's my opinion. Ness, what do you think?
Yeah. Just to add to that, too, murderers, the way they've committed their crimes, their victims, all of this should factor in.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about serial killers, absolutely. When you talk about people who murder children, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I don't think that, there was a case, I can't remember when it was, but it was this year. It was a juvenile, and he basically, I believe it was bombed a high school here in Texas. And they said, oh, we shouldn't charge him as an adult because of his age. It doesn't matter. He's old enough to know what he was doing. That's for sure.
There's another interesting point there. At what age, when it comes to murder, would you consider a juvenile of age to be tried as an adult? That's a really good question.
I believe the youngest was 12. Now that's a scary thought.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's...
Yeah. Yeah.
You try a 12-year-old as an adult. That might be doing too much. I'd say
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, me too.
16,
Yeah, 16 for sure. Yeah. Yeah, 16. No smaller than that. I mean, come on. You're trying a 12-year-old. That's just ridiculous. I think it is. But then you
What ended up
have
happening with that case.
with the 12-year-old, basically
Yeah.
he got upset because his mom wouldn't let him go out with his friends. And so he woke up and decided, you know what? I'm going to shoot both my parents. And he
Wow.
did. Yep. And he admitted it. That he shot them.
Well, in a case like that, the kid shouldn't have been convicted. He should have been institutionalized.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly he has some mental health issues. 12 years
Right,
old.
yeah. Yeah, the
Something
the defense claimed that, and now here's another, when should the insanity defense come into play?
That's another
But that's
interesting
another
conversation
topic
to
for
have,
another
yeah.
day.
Yeah,
But and don't worry, we will cover that. But
So what was the
yeah.
what was the outcome of that case?
The outcome was guilty because he admitted what he did and he had no remorse for it. That was what it was.
It's kind of what was his sentence?
His sentence was until he was 20. Yes, until he was 21, he was going to be, of course, in juvenile. But then after that, he will be transported to regular prison and be in for life without the possibility of parole.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a bit extreme for a 12-year-old.
Well, the judge said in the not closing arguments, I'm sorry, as he was handing
Final
down the
statements?
sentence,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that he wanted to give him the maximum that he could think of because he showed no remorse for what he did. And there are kids that have psychopathic tendencies, which is very scary.
Let me understand this correctly. This judge wanted to give this 12-year-old kid the maximum because he felt the kid showed no remorse.
Right.
Have we lost
Yeah.
sight of the fact that this is a 12-year-old kid?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if we're talking about an adult who committed a crime like this, yeah, fine. Throw the book at him.
Yeah.
But this is a 12-year-old kid. He could still
Yeah.
be rehabilitated. He could still. He's still young. He could still be rehabilitated.
Right. Yeah, he
They should have
still
gotten this
could
kid
be.
the help that he needed.
Yeah, because he's clearly under some kind of mental. He has some kind of mental issue.
Exactly. He should have been institutionalized rather than incarcerated.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause we're talking about a 12-year-old kid. Well, thankfully, he didn't receive the death penalty. My God. Jeez.
Yeah. Now that's where the
Brings us
death
back to
penalty
that, yeah.
should not be instated.
No, man.
Yeah. But if an adult did that, committed murder and knew what they were doing, and there was no, like the psych evaluations, say that, this person knew what they were doing, then yeah. Give them give them the death penalty,
And when we talk about serial killers and people
Yeah.
who've murdered children, etc., like that, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
all day.
Yep. I mean, look at Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, our famous serial killers that,
Yeah,
that
their
have
stories are
gotten,
well documented. Yeah.
yes, that have gotten the death penalty for what they've done. And And some of them have said they'd do it again if they were released. It just goes to show you
and these are fully grown people.
Yeah.
There's no. That's it. There's no
Right.
rehabilitating them.
Right. Yeah.
These were fully grown adults.
And the scary thing was they were intelligent. Extremely intelligent. That's what was so scary about, that's what I think was scary about the whole thing. But they deserved the death penalty and they got it.
I'm just baffled that a judge would sit in a courtroom and look at a 12-year-old kid in the eyes and say,
Yeah.
"You know what? I'm gonna throw the book at you because you weren't remorseful." What?
I mean, don't you have kids? What if that were your kid? I don't know.
A 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, I was appalled when I read that.
Listen, I understand the crime that he committed. Okay.
Right.
But a 12-year-old kid, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna treat him like an adult in this manner?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, regarding the death penalty, obviously that's an ongoing debate over that. Yeah.
Oh yes. Should it be allowed? Should it not be allowed?
Should it be allowed? Should it not be allowed?
Mm-hmm.
You have to factor in. You have to factor things in order to draw up the conclusion that it should be on the table.
Correct. Yeah. Such as, what crime did they commit? And is it... I don't want to say worth because that's the wrong word. But is it, I guess, liable for capital punishment? Should they have, for example, in the bombing case that happened this year with the high school, they took the death penalty off of the table. I think he was 18, 17, something like that, because of his age. He knew what he was doing. The boy who bombed up the high school that was close to Houston this year, he knew what he was doing. I think they shouldn't have taken the death penalty off of the table. But that's just my opinion. And I think I lost my colleague. I'm not sure what happened. Technical difficulties, guys. But like I said, I think they shouldn't have taken the death penalty off of the table. They should have left it. He knew what he was doing. He showed no remorse. And I believe he admitted that he did do it. So, yeah. So, and I think my producer is here, and if he would like to step in, that would be great. As well.
I've disappeared.
Oh no. So what do you think about the death penalty?
It's bad!
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
It's wrong! It's delinquency at its best!
So this juvenile, this high school bomber, which took place.
Yes.
Where did this take place?
Close to Houston.
17, 18 years old.
18 years old, yes.
18 years old.
I think he was 18, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they didn't They didn't introduce the death penalty as a possibility of
They did, but then he made a deal that took it off the table.
Oh, I see.
See?
He made a plea deal.
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
Which I think, come on. I mean, this
Well,
guy said
that happens a lot too. I mean, we've seen numerous cases
yes.
where that does happen.
Yes. Yeah. You know, he didn't apologize for any of it.
No, I'm not surprised.
You know, and that whole thing was it was sad. Very sad.
How many fatalities?
Oh gosh. I think it was 4 or 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And, you know, summer was just coming up and there were seniors that were going to graduate and, you know, prom was that weekend that it happened. So that's a bad memory.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because to sit here and outright say that it shouldn't exist, or to outright say it should in all cases, we can't just make that blanket judgment, broad judgment either.
Correct.
But there are factors that call for it.
Mm-hmm. Such as?
You know. Well, like we just mentioned, like in a mass murder,
Mm-hmm.
Children being victims, or the elderly being victims, or anyone
Oh, yeah.
anyone who can't defend themselves being victims.
Correct.
It's just it's an ongoing thing. Like, it's tough.
Now, here's what gets me about the death penalty is this. Every state that has the death penalty has their own way of doing things, basically how to execute people. Now, I think as far as that goes, I think it should be a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Yeah, it should be, considering that, you know, when we're talking about capital murder, that's a federal crime. That's a federal offense.
Yeah. You know, strap them onto a gurney.
It made no sense to me that every state has different rules as
Right.
to how to punish people for murder. Makes no sense.
Yeah. The 14th of this month, actually, there was a man who got executed in Tennessee. And as he was being executed, he felt everything that was going on in his body. He felt like he was... Yeah. He felt like he was drowning in his own fluids. He felt like his heart was going to explode.
Wow.
Because there's 3 bottles that they use. There's
Go ahead. What do they use?
So I don't want to get it wrong, but the second bottle was acid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what did it. That's what made him feel everything, was because it was basically burning him.
Why would they use acid?
I don't know. But there's this
is supposed to be a quote-unquote humane way of executing somebody, right?
Right.
What the hell is humane about that?
I don't know, but the Supreme Court is not happy.
No,
he felt everything.
So.
He felt everything.
Lord, wow.
Yeah, and they didn't have enough anesthesia to give him. They only had one bottle, 1 dose, and they should have had 2 doses to give him.
Well,
because they used the bottle. Yeah, they used the bottle of acid anyway. You know, that's what basically kills them. Is the acid, and then they use the chloride. I think it's sodium chloride. I believe is what it is. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, yeah. It's the anesthesia, which is kind of like chloroform, basically.
Which is like the painkiller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They use that, and then they use acid, and then they use the sodium chloride.
For anyone listening, don't try this at home.
No,
Putting out
please
that
don't.
Disclaimer right now. Don't try this at home.
Don't. So that's what they used. And the acid was what made him feel everything.
All because they didn't use enough anesthetics.
Right.
Wow.
And they knew, basically, that they should have had another bottle prepared. And they didn't. Even the anesthesiologist said so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, as you know, people are against the death penalty. Of course, they want to, they want it to be just eradicated completely.
Correct.
Recently, Pope Francis took a step towards this when he changed something in the doctrine in the catechism regarding the death penalty.
Wow.
He views it as basically it goes against the dignity of the person, basically. It's immoral, it's indignant, that's how he views it.
Oh, really? So murdering somebody isn't immoral?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And he wants to basically abolish this, right?
Yes, he wants to abolish the death penalty all over the world. Most countries in Europe and Latin America have abolished it already.
Wow, you know what's crazy about you saying that? Right now, I'm actually on a Wikipedia article so that the viewers can have something to read while you guys chit-chat it up. And I'm actually at that particular section where it says that most Latin American countries have abolished.
Wow.
Perfect timing.
Wow.
Good.
That is perfect timing.
Back to your regularly scheduled program. Oh, by the way, this program has been brought to you by Bluetooth.
No.
That's right.
No. It is.
No.
No.
We're talking about death, not creating life.
Oh. Yeah, but Bluetooth are for those who are... Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh, that's bad timing, bro.
That is bad timing. Wow. So how many countries do have it? The death penalty.
How many?
I didn't mean to interrupt
countries? I'm not exactly sure, but most of them have outlawed it. I know
Brazil is the only one, I believe, that has it, according to this article.
Oh, wow.
Most of us here in America have it.
Yes.
There is exactly 31 states that
have it. I'm sorry,
I
stand corrected. Brazil and Guatemala. Guatemala uses it in exceptional cases. Brazil doesn't seem to follow the same, so.
Oh, so Brazil just says, okay, we're going to use it whenever we feel like.
Yeah, I knew Brazil had one because serial killers podcast. Was it serial killers?
And as he just said, Guatemala uses it in certain cases, which is
right.
The argument that we've made here is that it should be used in certain there's just in certain cases.
Yeah. It should be, such as like we said, murderers.
Because the question then comes up, okay, you want it to be abolished completely. Okay, then what's the alternative?
Right.
What's the alternative?
Because
people
that's a great question.
Don't want to be rehabilitated. And which means they can't.
Right.
They don't want to be rehabilitated, and they would do it again if they had a chance to do so.
Of course they would. There are some people in this world that are just evil and they don't care for life. What brings them pleasure is death.
They get a sick thrill from just killing people.
Mm-hmm. They do.
As hard as that is to fathom that people like this actually exist in real life, not just in the horror movies, in real life, that's hard to fathom. It's pretty jarring, but they do exist.
Yeah, they do. They do. And there's proof. If you look at serial killers and
So I guess Pope Francis doesn't think that Dylan Roof should get the death penalty.
I guess not.
Yeah. Of course not.
No. Wow. That's
He wants
amazing.
He wants to eradicate. He wants to abolish it all altogether. Just want to get rid of it.
So what? They'll be doing life in solitary confinement?
I guess that would be the alternative.
Which some people say that it's more damaging than being executed. Because you're just there with your thoughts.
That's a good point.
So it's psychologically damaging.
You know what it is? The death penalty is more, oddly enough, those of us who are outraged by the crime, it's more for our benefit in some sick way.
Yeah, because they don't care if they...
No, they don't.
Well, some of them do. Some of them want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, that's true.
I should say.
Ted Bundy escaped prison, 2-3 times?
3 times, I believe it was. Yeah.
I mean...
Yep.
Pretty amazing.
Which says to me, oh, you don't want to die.
Whoa. I'm reading I'm reading the historical here on Wikipedia of certain executions, and gosh, some of the stuff on here. Drop hanging,
Yep.
hanging people on ladders, stoning,
Yep.
so on and so forth. It gets a lot more worse.
I mean,
Flogging.
we found a more humane way of doing it now, which is lethal injection. That was the whole point of adjusting the method in which people were executed.
Yeah, because there was, the electric chair,
Yeah,
which was
that
after
was
hanging,
causing-
I believe.
Yes, the electric chair, which then that became too faulty. He was like, well, okay, no, yeah, we have to find something more humane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Wow.
And I get it. We shouldn't be killing anybody. I get that. No kidding.
No, we shouldn't be killing anybody. But in some weird way, there's people who, I don't know, deserve to die, I guess, because of the crimes they've committed.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
It's one of those that they...
Listen to this, and this is kind of an astonishing number here. Now, this is back in 2010. There was a poll, and the poll basically asked how many Americans were for or opposed death penalty, and 61% were against it. And that's not a big number when you consider.
That was in 2010?
So let's fast forward to now. Think about how times have turned, even from 2010. I mean, perhaps the gap in numbers is much closer now.
Yeah.
Well, just among Catholics, 53% are for it,
Look at that.
according to a poll by the PEW Center.
And look at how
By the
big
research
the
center.
Catholic demographic is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a large demographic.
Yep. Wow.
Because they
That's
do have
definitely-
they do have a pro-life stance, but it does not involve the death penalty.
Oh, that's how that works.
No, their pro-life stance involves abortion.
Oh, okay.
They want to eradicate that. But 53%
But not
of
the-
them don't want to eradicate the death penalty.
I
That's
see.
another
Okay,
story.
okay.
42% are against it. 53% are for it. So it's like, yeah. It's kind of a
Okay.
mixed feeling here. It's like almost 50-50.
Almost, but not quite.
Almost, but not quite. But yeah, but the majority say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But Pope Francis has decided to take the steps to eradicate it all altogether.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some. That's
it's a
amazing.
difficult.
And
Yeah. Hmm.
but why? I mean,
Yeah.
that's my question: is why? What's that gonna show people who deserve it? Oh, it's okay because I technically can get away with it. Because
Well,
I'll
he's
just
looking.
be
Well, he's looking at it from a more moral standpoint.
right.
You know.
But these people don't show.
No, they don't. But yeah, he's saying, yeah, even though they don't show any sort of remorse, we still shouldn't take matters into our own hands. Is essentially what he's trying to say with this
Right.
step to abolish the death penalty.
Wow.
It's a tough argument to make. Yeah, I mean, it's
It is. It
because
is.
obviously you don't want anybody to die. Of course not.
No.
But when you hear about somebody killing innocent people for their own sick, twisted game, you don't really have any empathy or sympathy for them at all.
Right. Because
just
there's
don't.
no reason why
It's hard
people
to-
should be killing other people. There's
It's hard
no
to,
reason for that.
like I just mentioned Dylan Roof earlier. Like, who here has any sympathy for him? Not me.
Yeah. Nope. You can't. You know.
You walked into
I
a
know.
church and killed 9 innocent people.
Right. And you knew what you were doing.
Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. But killers always, they always know what they're doing.
They invited you into their church, and this is the way you repay them.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to get what you deserve,
Yep.
unfortunately.
And I don't know, maybe you can look at it as, oh, it's the easy way out.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
Because
At the same-
because when you think of people who are getting executed, you think it's going to happen right away. So that's why it's easy to look at it and go, well, that's the easy way out. But it usually doesn't happen right away. They're usually on death row for quite a while.
there are people that are on death row from years, because they're always trying to basically stay their execution, which basically means they're writing to the governor and asking them, "Hey, can you delay my
they're trying to push
execution?"
it back and push it back and push it and appeal and appeal and appeal and try to overturn the sentence. Yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
obviously work,
No.
but yeah, I think the real punishment in that is simply the wait, because they don't know when it's going to happen.
Exactly. It can happen at any time. And that
Yeah.
can also be psychologically damaging
Yeah,
as well, And
Yeah.
there are some killers who think I'm not going to get caught.
silly guys, silly people, silly people.
But when yeah, but when they do get caught, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go to prison. I'll die in there."
Yeah. Or like you said before, some of them will go out in a blaze of glory,
Oh yeah.
quote unquote,
Yeah.
in their minds. Yeah, they just like
Yep.
the rush.
Yeah, for some reason it gives them a thrill, like you said before.
They
Some
get a
kind
sick
of
thrill from
twisted.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that is just hard to grasp. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't think it should be eradicated, abolished completely. It should be used in when necessary.
Just certain cases.
When
I think
necessary, because it is necessary in certain cases.
Yeah, and I think that you should only use it for adults,
Yeah.
not for
18 and older.
kids. Mhm. Not for kids.
No.
Because their brains are still developing, and who
They're
knows?
still developing. They still have a chance to be rehabilitated. They still have,
Yeah. Who
It's
knows?
Like the 12-year-old kid we talked about earlier in the show.
Yeah. Which I think that whole situation is very sad.
Where did that take
know.
place?
That took place in El Paso.
Oh, in Texas. What year was
Yeah.
this? When?
2015.
2015. And now his life is practically over now.
His life is over.
So, 12 years old, his life is over.
Yep.
He's going to be in there until he's 21 and then get transferred over to prison for the rest of his life. Hopefully, you know, they're able to repeal that sentence at some point.
They're working on appeals
Oh,
that I know of. They've been working on appeals.
Oh yeah, hopefully it does come to fruition, because there's no way a 12-year-old kid's life should end like this.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Because clearly,
and as far as I know, he has never spoken about it. He's never done interviews or anything.
He's not going to.
No. So. Well, do we have anything else to add to this?
No, that's it for now. That's all.
All right.
I think we've squozen everything out of this, yeah.
I think, as our producer says.
I hope they enjoy listening to you guys and reading the content that we had on display as well. So.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and thank you for helping once again.
Yep.
Yes. Well, this is Star Fox for ENT Hooligans and Crime Syndicate, and please subscribe and tell your friends and tell your friends and tell your friends, and don't forget to hit the like button and leave us comments and follow us on the Twitter and on the Facebook, and check us out on the YouTube. Did I cover everything?
That's right, man. Remember to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your wives, your side pieces, your back pieces, everybody. Tell everybody.
What about your front pieces?
Tell everybody. Tell them all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Come one, come all. And
yes.
we will be back. We will be back tomorrow.
Yes, with endless. I
endless
was going to say Sports Vista.
Yes.
I'm pumped about Sports Vista with endless possibilities. Sorry, guys, that's for Thursday. Whoops. And stay tuned for another. Yes, stay tuned for another awesome episode of Crime. I was going to call that Crime Vista. Crime Syndicate. Oh my gosh, I got Sports Vista on the brain.
Next
I got to go
Monday,
back
we'll be
and
back with the Crime Syndicate. Yes.
Yes, and if you would like to. And if you would like to catch up on previous episodes of either podcast that we have, you can log on to the YouTube.
Yep.
Yes.
Check us out on YouTube. Search for us. Y'all know.
We're
here.
Yep. We're here. Don't be afraid to stalk us.
Okay. We don't want any stalkers.
Well, no.
No.
I'm talking about on the YouTube and the Twitter and the Facebook page.
Yep, there you go. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, no actual stalking is involved.
And remember, this show has been brought to you by... Anyway.
No, sir, it has not been brought to you by that.
No. Not this one, anyway.
Not this one, anyway. Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, bro, we need something uplifting. And what better way to uplift your spirits than by... Anyway.
That's tomorrow, sir. That's tomorrow.
That's well, I am.
On that note, folks, see y'all tomorrow. God bless.
That's right. Yep.
Thank you for listening to ENT Hooligans, your entertainment hub.